What's up, everybody? Khaled Iwamura here from Insaga.com. I'm here with the mayor of Mississauga, Bonnie Crombie. How you doing?
Doing really well, Cal. Thanks for having me on again.
It's been a while.
Sorry, busy times. I'm sure you're busy as well.
Yeah, you have been busy. So let's talk about your busyness. Uh, you're taking a leave for the Liberal leadership and may step down if you win, right? What goals and projects do you have for Mississauga that you might not get to?
Well, let me just say how much I love my city and love my community. It wasn't an easy decision to get into the race, but I just thought someone of my leadership and experience could make a difference to change the course of direction that the province is on. And certainly my campaign has been getting some traction and building a lot of momentum. And I think this is the appropriate time to take that unpaid leave. I do so with a heavy heart because I know we have some building priorities. But it's also a very important juncture. I said I would evaluate at the right time if, it became too frenzied to carry both roles, then I would take the leave so I can focus 100% on the leadership race. And I have been reviewing our city's priorities. I meet regularly with our city manager and our commissioners. I meet them weekly and sometimes our city manager more than weekly, and everything is in great hands. Of course, we continue to focus on the same priorities as we do at the province level, whether it's affordability, building more housing, building affordable housing, transportation, climate change, and later hopefully we'll be addressing the healthcare privatization of healthcare to ensure we have a strong single-payer universal system as well. But these are projects at Mississauga that will continue. And I very much plan to be back for the budget process. I intend to shepherd the budget through a strong mayor budget. And this is very important to me as well. It's something we work on throughout the entire year, and I intend to see it through. Should I win? We'll cross that bridge, but I would obviously can't do two jobs and would have to leave my position as mayor sometime in the new year. But I'm very grateful to the city, residents of Mississauga, for their patience and their understanding and their very, very kind words of support, no matter where I go. Today, I gave an address at Rotary and the Rotarians were very supportive as well. So it's a difficult journey, but I always have Mississauga in my heart and will continue to shepherd through our priorities at the city level as well.
If you do decide to step down, what do you hope for in the next mayor?
Well, someone who is equally committed to our priorities, someone who will follow in the same footsteps that Hazel and I have created, which are we're both heavily engaged in the community. And, my presence at every event, whether it's the festivals, it's the ribbon cuttings for new businesses, it's the parades, it's the banquets, the celebrations, I think that's vitally important. Our community expects that of their mayor. They expect you not only, to do the day-to-day work at City Hall to shepherd through our priorities, but also be a presence in the community, be that ambassador for the city as I travel often to close deals for the city and bring new investment in. And that might mean the aerospace conference, whether it be in England or in France, or it be the bio conference, and it's usually held in the US. Of course, we have a very vibrant life sciences sector, and it has meant a great deal of investment into our city attending these conferences. And so they will have to be very hands-on. It's not an office job. We are an ambassador, we are a cheerleader, and we're a constant presence in the community at local community events. And that includes all the walking in parades, attending and cheering on the festivals, cutting the ribbons at new businesses or business anniversaries, and then signing deals for investments as well.
Awesome. Any updates on the LRT Loop or the new marina in Port Credit?
So as everyone who lives in the south of the city knows, we're constructing the Hurontario LRT. It's 18 kilometers, 19 stops. It's the north-south spine of our regionally integrated transit system. And we have reached a significant milestone of the LRT project because we have now issued the permit of the final building permit for the Port Credit Station. So this is really bringing to life the LRT now, and it won't be long till our residents will start seeing track laid. I know it was to open in the fall of 2024. It may get pushed into early 2025, but to the best of my knowledge, other than some minor delays through COVID, we are still on track for the LRT. I will say that while we continue to advocate for the downtown loop, there has been no movement to date, although I know that Phil Verster at Metrolinx is very aware of the need for the loop. By 2050, we will double our numbers in the downtown. As you well know, that we have 50 towers in our downtown today, but we'll have an additional almost 120 towers, unlimited heights and density, in the next 20 years. In the next 5 years, they'll see the building of about 35 new towers, combination of employment and residential. And so the need is very, very great. So that we can reach our full potential as a vibrant city, the downtown needs to have higher order transit. And it was always planned that the LRT would loop around the downtown, where we'll have up to 75,000 residents and many businesses as well. So that's a very critical project that really needs to be funded and proceed. With respect to the waterfront marina, it is a $75 million project. We have the largest natural harbor, deepwater harbor along the Lake Ontario shoreline, and we're very, very proud of that. I mean, we want to put the port back in Port Credit, and so we have had Councillor Dasco had a community meeting back on September 30th. That wasn't that long ago, in front of the Port Credit Marina. And we encourage everyone to provide their feedback on what's needed. It has not been funded. Yes, just the environmental assessment has been funded. So we're looking for feedback, but I know the local residents are extremely supportive and very anxious that that public marina be built. It's very important for not only boaters, but also the tourist in sector and the fisheries sector. This is a very vital sector for our economy, not just the leisure crafts. It's much more than leisure crafts. There's a significant industry built around the Port Credit Harbor. So it's very important that it go forward, and people can provide feedback throughout the month of October by visiting Mississauga.ca /1 Port Street East. I'll say it again, Mississauga.ca /1 Port Street East, if they'd like to make a submission or give comments about the Port Credit Marina.
Awesome. So about 10 million page views Mississauga gets, and your video is playing on every page about the Thanksgiving food drive. Let's talk about that.
Very good. So I'm very, very proud of the Mayor's annual Thanksgiving food drive, but it's my role is to create awareness that there is a need, and it's because of the compassion and generosity of Mississauga residents that it becomes a success. And as you know, the food bank has rebranded. It is now Food Banks Mississauga, supporting 60 different agencies. But I'm very proud that over the 9 years of being mayor, we have raised $4.5 million for the food bank and 2.5 million pounds of food. So that's a pretty significant achievement, I think. There are many municipalities that wish their mayors were behind their food banks. But I just see the need in our city, and notwithstanding we're living in a very affluent community, the need is great, and it seems to be increasing. I know that the influx of newcomers has caused an increase, a little bump. The Ukrainian asylum seekers represented 12% of users at the food bank, as well as the East African asylum seekers. And so what I know is that, let me see if I can remember the numbers accurately, but there's been an 18% increase in use as of today, this year, and since before COVID, we are seeing an increased usage of the food bank by 80%. So, it just speaks to the lack of affordability today, whether it's groceries, utility bills, car payments, rent, mortgage payments, higher interest rates. There's a lack of affordability in Ontario, and people are using their food banks. And we're supporting the most vulnerable in our community, those in our shelters and those asylum seekers as well. So I'm asking everyone to be generous this Thanksgiving, please. The need is great in our community, and think about that there could be a hungry child on your street who's going to school without breakfast and may have only one meal a day. And that's who you need to think about when you write your check or make an online donation to support our food bank. And we've got a long way to go to raise the $1 million target this year. So please be generous. Food banks, Mississauga.ca/Thanksgiving. And they're asking for monetary donations this year. It's very important that they are able to purchase what is needed in our community. Too often they receive generous donations, but they're not often specifically to the need in the community. So this way it allows them to buy what is needed. So monetary donations to food banks, Mississauga.ca/Thanksgiving. The food bank has a brand new facility, 43,000 square feet, which is really going to help those in need in our community and those 60 agencies in Mississauga that depend on them. It is important.
Can I ask another question?
Yes.
Do you find that anybody in council? Yeah.
I know there's a lot of interest from, many, whether they're councillors or other elected officials in our great city. And of course, I know that Mississaugans would embrace someone local. We don't have any desire to have somebody from outside our boundaries taking on the position of mayor in our great city. We need somebody who's committed, who loves our city like I do, like Hazel did before me, and was active in our community, and will show up to all the community events that are, on every evening and every weekend. You know what my schedule is like, what Hazel's schedule is like. That's vitally important that the mayor be present as ambassador and cheerleader.
Awesome. Cool. Well, Mayor Crombie, thank you so much.
Not to mention leader and whip at council.
Yeah, okay. I will talk. I don't know when I'll talk to you again, but good luck with everything, and we'll chat soon.
Thank you.
All right.
Bye-bye.